Failed relationships since my marriage had ended.
And I have really missed kind of having someone to talk to.
Currently, I don't date, and it's purely for the reason that I am exhausted.
I am done with all of these games. I'm done with men.
Maybe I'm being picky, or maybe I just have standards. I have an incredible career. I am truly living my best life. And so the man that is going to come into this life is going to have something of value to offer me. He's going to make this great life greater.
I've come to the realization tonight, I'm not made to date in 2023. I don't understand where the hell this is going to. I'm not made for situationships, whatever that means. No, I'm made to be a wife and a mom.
Unfortunately, most of the time, this realization comes late.
I want my man to come home to me. I want to have dinner cooked. I want laundry done. I want to do all that. That's what I'm made for. That's what God made me for. I know people are going to be like, it's 2023. Women don't need to be doing that. I want that. I want that.
Husband is a good guy, but you're ready for divorce? You're not a bad person. So don't let guilt get the best of you.
And y'all wonder why I say there's no benefit to getting in relationships with today's modern woman.
Indeed, my friend.
Because even when you do everything right and you're a good guy, she's gonna dump your...
Single women who are over 50 years old who have been reaching out to me for wife coaching tips, I'm no longer taking them. Don't pay the money through my website because I'm just going to refund it to you. I've had a couple of experiences this week, and here's why. Most of you, not all, but 99% of the women who are 53 and older, specifically 53, 55, 57, 59, 61, 64, in those age brackets, have been the most challenging for me to coach because the standards are unrealistically high. I get that you're old school and I get that your mom raised you to only interact with gentlemen, but most of the men who do all of the stuff that you're wanting are dead, or they're not looking for 55 or 57-year-old women.
That's true. Men often look for a possibility to make a future and have kids of their own.
There are some younger men who do that. You don't want an old man because he can't perform in bed. Well, the younger men don't want an older woman because some of you have arthritis, some of you have missing teeth, you have gray hair, you have grandkids. Like, you gotta be realistic and balanced.
These grass is greener people appear not to comprehend that the grass you take care of is greener. Men don't only give, they sacrifice their lives for the one they love.
Why are there so many single women out here that are struggling to find a man? Well, I'm gonna tell you the reason, but you're not gonna like the answer. Now, this may not apply to you, so don't take offense. But if you do, maybe you need to reflect why it makes you offended. Honestly, a lot of women treat men like trash. A lot of women take men for granted. A lot of women want men to take accountability for their actions and what they do. But boy, if you ask a woman to take accountability for her faults and her actions, it's straight to signing divorce papers.
Men want simple things: honesty, respect, and no games.
But my question is, why are women so resistant to taking accountability? Like, really, what is the reason why you won't take accountability for your actions? I know for me personally, because I was this woman for many, many years, like most of my marriage, I realized it's because I thought I had to be perfect and that society judged me based on my level of perfection. And if I dared to take accountability for my faults and actions, then I would be even more demonized. But the reality is, me not taking accountability was making it worse. And I don't think a lot of women understand the fact that we are a lot of the problem. I'm not saying we're the whole problem, but at least on my platform, on this side of things, a lot of men are trying. They're putting in the effort. They're doing the things that they need to do. And women are taking their husbands for granted. They got married because they wanted to be married, not because they wanted to be a wife.
It takes a big person to admit their own mistakes. She changed for the better only because she recognized her own flaws.
So you single ladies struggling to find a man, most men are not even wanting to get married anymore because they've dealt with bad relationship after bad relationship of women taking them for granted and treating them like trash. And honestly, I can't blame them. If you put all the effort in for years and didn't get anything back, you wouldn't tolerate that either. So why are we expecting men to just sit down and take it? You would advise every one of your girlfriends, girl, don't take that from him. Why should he take that from you? And honestly, I truly believe that lack of accountability is one of the #1 reasons why marriages are failing.
Approved.
I can promise you, if you take accountability for your actions and work really hard to fix them, your marriage can look completely different.
Yeah, my ex left because our relationship was amazing, but not perfect. The grass is only green where you water it.
When they realize that the grass actually wasn't greener on the other side and their attempt to replace you backfired, that's usually when they start to miss you. But you see, the grass is only greener where you water it. And 90% of the time, people, they haven't watered nothing. That's why it is so important not to let people waltz in and out of your life like it's some game. If they want to stay gone, then let them be gone.
Never take someone back who left you in the hard times.
My wife in January told me she didn't want to be married anymore. February or March, she started talking to this guy and hanging out with him, going to lunch, whatever. And then March, she moved out. And the whole time she said, hey, like, I just need to, I'm hurt from the past. I need to take a break, figure things out. I just feel like with my wife, it's like a joke. And she said to me last week as well, she said, hey, I don't feel like this would be a big deal had we not got back together. And I said, but we did get back together. You came back. I didn't drag you back into this house. I'm the one that filed for divorce because you're the one that told me to file for divorce. And
So she basically wanted a divorce and to go with someone else. And as soon as her other relationship failed, she wanted her husband back.
it's a roller coaster ride, and I do want to get off the roller coaster.
So get off. That doesn't mean divorce. I'm saying stop the ride. Just stop.
Showed up at my parents' house because my baby's there. I want to see my baby because I haven't seen my baby in days. And I'm being told that I'm not going to see my baby. So I showed up at my parents' house, knock on the door. My dad answers the door with his arms crossed.
Can I help you? I'm like, yeah, is my baby here? You need to leave. You are not allowed to be here. I'm like, I'm here to see my baby. I'm not here to see you. I'm here to see my baby. Amber, you need to go get help. So he's like real close to me. He's like trying to scare me, which it doesn't scare me. It just makes me sad that my dad is trying to scare me.
We can't just randomly leave our loved ones and come back expecting them to take us.
And then my dad is against me. It makes me sad. Long story short, I did not see my baby. I lost my It's like screaming at the top of my lungs, as if there was a death or something. I have no regrets. I am losing my mother mind.
After you actually lose a good man, let me tell you the aftermath. Before you choose to lose this good man, you will try to find a man equivalent to the man you're with. And you will think that you could find better. But when you actually put yourself out there, you'll realize that there is no man left.
That's what happens when we try to chase two things at the same time. We get nothing.
80% of divorces are filed by women. And why is that? So the comment that I got was, why do so many women leave their husbands simply because they are unhappy or bored? Why is it that men have the endurance of till death do us part, and yet many women have the endurance limited to their emotions, like boredom? They're unhappy.
Because most men's happiness comes from providing and protecting their partners.
And why is that? And what's the solution to that? So what I had to see for myself as a woman, why we have such a limited endurance in marriage and we are so quick to leave and so quick to run, is because we have no concept when we get married that we are actually making a commitment to another person. We're making a commitment to ourselves, that our vows actually mean something, and that when we get married, we have responsibilities and roles to make it work.
That's true. It's a big commitment that we cannot just take lightly.
Biggest regrets right there is losing access to you. Not how they treated you, not what they done to you, not what they put you through, but losing that access and control over you. Losing access and control over what some may consider grade A supply.
I'm 69 and I left my husband 7 years ago. I was fed up with being part of the furniture. I wanted to have a proper life again. Everyone got the shock of their lives when I left. My friends couldn't believe it.
Okay.
Most of all, my ex couldn't believe it. He never thought I'd leave.
Even I didn't believe it.
I mean, I didn't wish him any harm. I didn't have an unhappy marriage. I just wanted a bit more excitement in my life. And I was gonna get it before I was 70. And I've only got 6 months to go. People stay in a relationship far too long when it's no good. And I can tell you something, when you are absolutely feeling like this is the end of the line, be brave.
No thanks, no thanks.
They only return to you when the life they thought was going to be better didn't actually work out. And is this true? And for the most part, it actually is true, but not in the way you think it is. Most people are having a breakup when they're dealing with things internally that they cannot control. So they're trying to cope with thoughts and feelings and problems.
That's correct. Many leave their partners when they get problems in their lives that aren't even related to the marriage. And that is just wrong.
That probably have nothing to do with their person, but they don't know how to get out of that pain, so they're going to have a breakup. They could be dealing with stressors in life that they are not being able to express to you. They could be dealing with trust issues, abandonment wounds. They're going to self-sabotage when things get a little bit too close. They're having problems in their own personal life that are overwhelming them. So they're going to try to get out of this place of pain, and they're going to go for the breakup. And
No matter what we go through, it's never an excuse to leave our loved ones.
And once they get outside of the relationship, they realize that this life isn't better without my person. My person wasn't actually the problem. And a lot of times this person does go over and get into a brand new relationship. And so now they realize that their life isn't better without their person, and they might try to come back around. So now it's up to you to decide, do you hold space for that? Do you forgive? Do you get beyond it? Or do you say,
hasta la vista, baby?
It's too much damage. I can't do it as much as I love them. So breakups can be really complicated, and they have a lot to do with people internally and not necessarily problems between the couple.
Unfortunately, if they did it once, God knows how many times they can do it.
I walked away from a 12-year relationship with 2 kids, but about 6 years into the relationship, I began to feel stuck. While he was sticking to and accomplishing all of the goals that he had set for himself, I was feeling like my life was just becoming like a revolving door of mother and wife duties. And then the goals that I had for myself would come last.
You serious?
I would come up with all these plans on how we could, relocate to California as a family. And he would entertain it, but he never spoke life into it.
Because that guy was busy thinking of how to provide.
And when it all hit the fan, I walked away from everything. And you know what was the hardest? The judgment and criticism that I received, especially from people I thought would be in my corner.
Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.